so pleased to be joined today by Ayella, CRS Diocesan Director here in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. And thank you so much for taking time to chat with us here at Catholic Philly.
I'm very happy to do so. Thanks so much, Ken, for having me.
And I know you've been involved with CRS for quite some time. This is not the first thing you've done. Tell us a little bit about your history with CRS.
Okay, sure. Well, I worked for the Archdiocese for nutritional development for 38 years, and in that role, I was always sort of the point person for Rice Bowl, CRS Rice Bowl. I became officially the CRS Diocesan Director back in 2002, so that's been 22 years after the death of Monsignor Bill Paul, who had been the director. So I've been involved indirectly with Rice Bowl for 40 plus years, but the Diocesan Director for over 20.
Wonderful. And Rice Bowl, which has just launched, is now in its 49th year.
Correct.
So coming up on a big golden anniversary next year. And if you say CRS within our local church, Rice Bowl is usually the first thing that comes to mind for people. We know CRS is so much bigger than that. But what is the draw with Rice Bowl? Why is that such a big deal for people?
I just think Rice Bowl has always been special because, well, for one, it has its roots right in our area. It started in the Allentown Diocese, and then the year of the Eucharistic Congress, it really went into full gear in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia as sort of a way for area Catholics to live their faith and better understand the connection between Eucharist and helping those who are hungry. So I think the local roots and the fact that it really involves all the pillars of Lent, prayer, fasting, giving, and it's very kind of very based on community and solidarity, and I think that appeals to people as well.
So, and that would be since 1976 then, when it first started here?
Yeah, 75, 76, exactly.
Right. And it's continued to grow. Last year, it was the most successful year ever for Rice Bowl. Over $426,000 was raised for those in need throughout our local church. Outstanding amount. And it's a success that seems to keep building each year. I mean, do you think that's a function of Rice Bowl as a reflection of every gift, no matter the size, matters? I mean, we can see the collection containers here. It brings back memories of grade school when you were putting in a nickel or a dime or a dollar bill for something like that. I remember that from long ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And CRS has tried to kind of move along with the times. They do now have ways that you can do it online. There's a community giving option. You can use a QR code. But I think you're right, Ken. I think so many people, the little ball makes that connection between you and a person who's going to benefit, whether they're global or local.
So talk to us a little bit about that, Anne. When funds are contributed to Rice Bowl, there is that dual impact, local and global. So explain that to us, how that works.
And to me, that is one of the key highlights of Rice Bowl, the global local. So 75% of the dollars collected goes to Catholic Relief Services for global projects. And many of them really help people to help themselves. It might help a farmer develop a new strain of seed so that their production is going to be better. It might help a community in Indonesia plan for cyclones and earthquakes and droughts. So it's really helping people help themselves. They're the global projects. So 75% assist CRS with those kinds of really projects that make a difference in the life of people around the globe. The 25% that stays local goes through nutritional development services, and the dollars are shared with a network of 50 food cupboards and soup kitchens in the 5-county area.
And we've seen a lot of those food cupboards and soup kitchens over the past 5 to 10 years or so, taking that educational approach as well, where we see things like gardens being developed, where there's nutritional education that's happening for individuals for how to feed families, do it in a healthy way, and when, especially if they have to be extremely budget conscious as to how they're doing those things. So it seems like there is the intersection of outright charity and teaching at the same time.
So true. And I think that's what those of us who have been in anti-hunger work through the years have really realized. You can't just give people something that's going to satisfy their immediate hunger. It has to be healthy. It has to really benefit their overall well-being. So that's where the education, the gardening, the fresh fruits and veggies, not just canned goods that maybe have a lot of sodium or a lot of fat. So that's a little more expensive, the fresh fruits and veggies, but but Rice Bowl makes a huge difference, and we're able to get fresh product out to the cupboards and soup kitchens.
Wonderful. And would you say that Rice Bowl is also an opportunity for education as sort of a two-way street, not just teaching those in need how to master tasks that are going to better their lives, but for people who are giving to Rice Bowl, perhaps generating understanding about challenges in other areas of the world that we just don't experience in the United States?
Yeah, I think it's a total two-way educational street, Ken, for sure. I think that's one of the beauties of Rice Bowl is it's not just a collection, but included in every Rice Bowl, there's a calendar. And every single day you can learn a new fact about a country or their challenges or how what we do can impact them in their country. So this year there's a couple countries that are being highlighted, and every week there's a focus on them. So one week it's Uganda, one week this year it's El Salvador, one week it's Indonesia, and then of course the local. So there's definitely a two-way educational.
And then a cultural education too, perhaps. I mean, one of the other things about Rice Bowl that I always love are the facts about meatless meals, because we're observing that not just on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, but Fridays during Lent. So what are some creative ways for us to do that? So the cultural learning and implications of all that, I think, is a really interesting touch to the way the program unfolds every year.
Totally agree. A lot of the recipes involve all kinds of neat, rices, veggies that we maybe aren't that familiar with, but we learn more about how other people cook. And I think food is such a unifier. We all gather around the table. It's something we all share.
Absolutely. So any favorite meatless meals for you during Lent?
Usually just ones that are a variety of like rice and beans with some kind of tomato base. Yeah.
Okay. Always a fan of the meatless meatballs myself.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
What would you say to encourage individuals or families who haven't participated in Rice Bowl before to do that? I mean, what kind of words of encouragement would you give?
I would really just say take full advantage of the materials. If your parish has bowls available, I would totally take one, use the calendar, but then also go to crsricebowl.org if you are able to, have access to the computer resources. There are fabulous videos. Every single week you can meet real live people from the countries, and you can hear them tell the story about how Rice Bowl changed their lives. And I would say utilize the resources, learn about the real life people and the stories of hope, how it's going to impact them.
And to me, that is so much more powerful than a mailer. And that you actually are hearing and seeing someone when you have that personal connection. It's a really powerful thing.
It's a huge help. And this year, for our local focus, we'll be visiting a place in North Philadelphia on 11th Street called Siloam Wellness Center. And they do excellent programming and are really about teaching people about healthy eating. And they give folks a bag of food whenever they're in need. And they're one of the beneficiaries of Rice Bowl locally this year. And
probably important to point out for folks who are watching that when we distribute these funds locally, that goes to all those in need who are coming for help.
Exactly.
Although it is Catholic Relief Services, the Archdiocese of Philadelphia is a Catholic institution.
Yes.
We're here to serve and help all.
Exactly. And that's a great point with where we're going, who we're highlighting this year, Siloam Wellness. It was started by Father Peter Donahue, who's an Augustinian, and Sister Bernadette, who's a Sister of Mercy. But they serve everyone in the community for sure. Where there's a need, they're there to help fill it.
Wonderful. You had mentioned earlier that Rice Bowl really incorporates the pillars of Lent.
Yes.
So tell me how you think this really can help someone further their Lenten journey altogether.
I think it really can, because it encourages us to pray for our brothers and sisters who might be in need, who might be hungry, who might be struggling. It encourages us to fast, to eat simply, and then to learn, as I was saying, to really learn the stories of people from other countries. And then if we're able to give, then that's additional. So I think really to blend all of them is the key to Rice Bowl.
Right. So any other thoughts that you might want to share? Anything that I haven't asked or prompted you for?
Just gratitude to the communications team for everything you do for us, and just to the really faithful people of the Archdiocese who for 40 plus years have prayed, fasted, learned about our global and local brothers and sisters, and have given from their hearts. So real gratitude.
Well, Anne, thank you. Anything that we can do to help spread the word about the good works, and clearly the work that you and others have done with NDS and CRS over the years, it's grown exponentially, and the more people that we can help, the better. So thank you so much for joining us today, and have a really blessed Lent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.